Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and it's Tuesday. Time to look at some online video news from last week. And this week I'm actually on the road, but I still wanted to give you guys some heads up of some things that are happening in the online video industry and what it means for those of us who are video creators, starting with YouTube's new announcement that they are now shifting the reporting section for where you can find out what's happening with your earnings from YouTube videos from your Adsense account to your YouTube analytics. It used to be that if you wanted to see a breakdown, detailed report of where all your money's coming from and how you're earning it, you'd have to go into your YouTube AdSense account and find that, but they're saying, hey, that's getting too complicated. We're just going to put everything for YouTube in your YouTube analytics account. Personally, I'm like, alright, that's a step in the right direction, I guess, but analytics has always reported so much more accurately and so much better than YouTube ever has. They say they're going to fix that, and also, rather than taking up a couple days for YouTube analytics to catch up, they say that it should take about 24 hours for that AdSense data in your analytics to be accurate. That launched yesterday on April 1st, but another thing that YouTube launched actually on March 15th, about 2 weeks ago, is they've kind of snuck into your partner settings if you're a YouTube, like not just like a normal partner, but like the next level partner where you have access to standard pre-rolls and YouTube rentals and like stuff like that. You can now rate the content of each of your videos based on a 3-color system: green, yellow, or red. You give your videos a rating using one of those colors based on the type of language is in it, nudity, sexual situations, violence, drug use, and then there's also a miscellaneous category, which is probably for things like strobe lights and that could cause seizures and stuff like that. YouTube gives some guidelines for how you should rate your content. For example, if it's completely clean, then a green light, but it goes to yellow as soon as you have any type of language that's even bleeped out. And if you leave any type of swearing in your videos, that immediately goes to red. But they're leaving it up to the individual creators to rate their own content. If you want to opt into this system, there's links in the description text below this video where you can learn more about it. And then if it's something that you think would be good for your content and help it perform better on YouTube, whether you're looking for an edgier audience or you just want to keep it family safe and make sure that people who are looking for that type of content find your stuff, go check out more about it. Links below, and then opt in and you can learn more about it through YouTube systems and help pages and all that, which are all linked up below. Over at realseo.com, Carla Marshall did an overview of some new research that came out from Search Metrics talking about how video ranks and performs in universal search on Google. And it was really helpful for me to read through her synthesis of that data, because even though video has really dropped in those search results over the past year, it is still clearly the #1 winner of the type of content that will show up next to those organic search results in Google. But what's most interesting to me is what types of videos are most likely to show up there. Turns out that informational videos like how-to videos and tutorials, screencasts, walkthroughs, training, stuff like that are actually about 84% more likely to show up in search than any of the other types of videos that they're looking at, which is helpful for me because that's basically the type of content that I do here. But also helped me know that when I do informational type of videos, that I need to tag it, write titles appropriately, write description text that indicates clearly to Google that this is an informational training help video. The other thing that I found interesting about this report from Search Metrics is that YouTube videos are about 80% more likely to show up in those search results than video from any other platform. And it kind of makes sense because, I mean, Google owns YouTube, so they probably would want rather direct traffic to their own site where they think you're going to probably watch an ad and give them a couple pennies. And they feel like they can most accurately provide content that is relevant to the person who submitted the search query because they know exactly what's happening with that video and all other videos in their ecosystem, which reinforces to me that even if you are posting your video at other places, it also is worth posting it to YouTube. 3 other stories for you real quick. #1 is that the YouTube documentary called Please Subscribe came out last week. I am planning on watching it tonight and hopefully sometime this week doing a quick little video review for you guys of what I thought and what was good and what was bad and if it's worth your $8 to buy. But if you want to check it out, link is in the description text below. And then also VU was kind of sad. They made an announcement saying they are shutting down this week. If you're not familiar with VU, it's basically a Q&A site where you can submit video questions to different users and then those users could respond with video. It's kind of like a Q&A interactive place, which I thought was really cool, had a lot of potential, but apparently not enough other people thought so, and it's kind of shutting down. But what I do think is cool is that they're not just like, they're disappearing from like a consumer market standpoint, but they're not disappearing completely. Actually, they're kind of shifting into like a white label type of program where you can have your own video Q&A site for your niche, for your community, whatever. And then finally, the last link down there is from Hank Green, one of the vlog brothers here on YouTube, who wrote on his blog about his take on what's happening with a $300 million investment that YouTube has made into original content here on YouTube. He talks about some of the lessons that he's learned as a recipient of some of that money and lessons he hoped Google has learned as a result of this experiment. Two of the things that he said in that post, which I really appreciated and I hope will be valuable for you also, is one, he said that online video isn't about how good it looks, it's about how good it is. And he said that people who make online videos are much better at making online videos than people who make TV shows, which those of us who are on YouTube could probably be like, well, duh, you know, but apparently that's not as obvious to people who are, especially brands and marketers, who are outside of the YouTube space trying to get into that to take advantage of the eyeballs that are here. He also strongly encouraged YouTube and Google to build a platform that isn't molded to what advertisers want and expect and what works well for their systems, but instead to build a system that works best for us, for Google, for YouTube as a community, and then force the advertisers to shift and shape to meet that and to work with whatever this new thing is. He says that is what works so well for Google, like search in the first place, and he thinks that could work best for YouTube in the long run as well. I'd really love to hear from you guys though about what you think about all this, from Hank's blog post to the rating systems to like everything. There's a lot to talk about here. So comment below and let me know what you think. I love interacting and hearing from you guys there. And if this is your first time here, welcome. We'd love to have you subscribe. Tomorrow we'll be doing some YouTube tips and advice as a highlight from one of our previous Google Plus on-air hangouts. And then on Thursday we'll do some Q&A with you guys and a whole bunch of other stuff coming up next week. So subscribe and I will see you all you guys again tomorrow. Bye.